Welcome to another edition of Wrestling News Radio Raw Reaction. We are on the first of the month of June, 2015. I got Dan and Mark here with me. We're going to get it to Dan right now to give us the full rundown, and we're going to start with the Authority, Dan.
The Authority comes out with his shocker. Brace yourself, because we never get to see the Authority come out first and do their promos.
Ever.
Yeah. But they address the Elimination Chamber match, what happened last night between Dean and Seth Rollins, where it comes out to be a dusty finish. Dean seems to be declared the champion, and Seth, well, technically Dean won, but Seth retains. But he stole the belt, which was kind of funny. Everyone is pissed off. Seth Rollins mentioned he should be fired and so on, and then moments later we see that Roman Reigns guy come out. He mentions Ambrose isn't there and he won't be back unless there's a Matt Ladder match, and he gets his rematch for the title. Seth is called the worst champ ever. Seth says he doesn't need the Authority in this match or anything. Triple H tells him he still wants to keep his spot in Money in the Bank. He has to win the next match, which will be 3 matches later, and this is referring to Roman Reigns. Anthony, what are your thoughts on this segment, and how did you enjoy the main event at Elimination Chamber?
I like a lot of people. I knew Dean wasn't winning. I was a little upset at the finish of how, first off, this is exactly what I told Mark too. They're going to tell us that Dean got disqualified, or Seth got disqualified, so Dean won, but Seth is the one that knocked out the ref. Okay, no, Dean is the one that knocked out the ref with that flying knee, so if anybody should have gotten disqualified, it should have been Dean Ambrose. So they totally botched that finish, but we're going to ignore that. We're just going to look past all that. The fact that they gave Dean having him steal the title at the end of the night, that's pretty cool. I was down with that. I was okay with that making up for the dusty finish. But the opening promo, I'm with you, man. Like, they should just go ahead and start Raw with the Authority standing in the ring. Like, there's no need to have the music hit. Just, skip all that. Save us the 2.5 minutes at least. I'm so tired of the Authority promo to start the show. But for what it was, Seth is really stupid, is what he is. Because I don't know what he thinks he's going to get out of trying to man up to Dean and Roman, but he's going to have the Authority not in his favor very soon if he ever grabs Triple H like that again. That was mainly my thoughts on it. Seth is well on the way of digging his own grave here.
Well, I saw that part where he was grabbing and going off. I was like, ooh, this is the part where Seth Rollins slowly is about to get kicked out of the Authority and someone's going to come in and replace him. But I don't know, like you said, I'm tired of the Authority coming out, starting off. I'm getting kind of sick of the music too. I used to like the music, but I'm getting sick of their music. Mark, what's your thoughts on the segment and the main event at Elimination Chamber?
Okay, just to respond to Anthony here. Seth Rollins first put his hands on the ref to drag him into Dean Ambrose.
No, sir, he lost his balance, sir.
No. Seth put his hands on him.
All I saw was a flying knee that knocked the ref unconscious.
Well, go back to WWE.com and watch the instant replay. They have Seth actually drag the ref. So that's just to clarify that up.
And if you don't have the WWE Network for $9.99, you can go back and watch it too, and you can tell us which one you think. Because I personally am going to blame Dean.
I mean, really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, Seth Rollins is still declared the champion.
No, it's a conspiracy, Dan. That's what it is. It's a conspiracy. Because you know what? Dean may get the win in the record books, but I'm here to tell you, Seth should have had the win in the record books on top of being the champion.
I like how Seth continues to shoot at Kane. He's a 7-foot piece of crap.
He took a shot at TNT.
Yeah, he took a shot at everybody that night.
And I will man up. He manned up when he looked Triple H in his eye without budging. and said, "And I don't mean the authority." That was boss. I was like, wow.
Ooh.
The funny part though is Triple H actually, I don't know if he did it as like a rib or something. He was talking to Reigns about you'll lose your hopes and dreams again. I'm thinking that was a reference to supposed to win WrestleMania 30, but you didn't.
I'm sure.
So that was a pretty cool shot as far as Triple H goes.
Yeah, but
it really doesn't matter because he has Money in the Bank. So I mean, what were they going to do?
yeah, well, we don't want to spoil it for everyone, but if you watch the show, you know that Roman's in the match, and Roman's probably winning Money in the Bank. If you had to write that down, I'd be willing to bet my good leg on it. So
with everything that happened at the main event, do you think they should just end this whole dusty finish, or just get rid of like the champion retains the title or something?
They might make it into a gimmick eventually if Seth gets kicked out of the Authority still with the belt, that even if he gets disqualified, he'll lose the title. But as far as if Seth's still with the Authority, he's still going to take that cowardly heelish win every time.
yeah. And I'm okay with the dusty finish for somebody like Seth, but I feel like they use it too much, man. Like, it's okay, even at a big show, it's okay to give me that dusty finish. Don't end every big Raw match with a dusty finish. Like, it's okay to take a loss. Now, I know Dan doesn't think it is, but it's okay to lose in wrestling.
I can just name a list of what you shouldn't end your show off of or have in your main event, and one of them is like 6-man tag teams.
Yeah, no, that's top of the list, actually.
Yeah. Or Divas tag team match as your main event.
That'll never happen.
Yeah. I think they should. I think didn't TNA at one time had a moment where, regardless of what kind of match it was, if it was a count out or DQ, the person will lose their title.
There has been some stipulation where they use that, yes. And I think they're going to eventually do that. But see, that's what you do with the dusty finish. Like, they would do this in the 80s too with Flair, where Flair would sneak away or get disqualified time after time after time, and it leads to a no DQ match where you can't be disqualified. You can't take the easy way out. So, if Seth has enough dirty finishes, he can come and put in one of those matches. But you know what? He always finds a way to win-lose too. Like, I'm going to roll up or something.
Yeah. Overall, I think the main event Elimination Chamber was okay. I thought they was going to give us a curveball because when I seen that Dean Ambrose won it, I was like,
so you really like bought into it, like you thought Dean was the champion.
For a half second, I did. When that second referee came out, I was like, oh, wow, this is something I didn't expect. They're giving us so many curveballs tonight. And then they switched the ruling. I was like, oh, crap.
Well, you know how long they let that go? Like, they let Dean's music play with the pyro, and I mean, they let us think Dean was the champion for a good 4.5, 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was a letdown. It's like, at least that gives us a chance to, experience what would it look like if Dean were to win, like, legitimately.
Well, Wrestling Dude Universe, I'm here to tell you that I was not fooled for 1 second. Because I knew as soon as that ref fell that we were about to have some shenanigans. I was like, oh boy, here comes the dirty finish. So it really did shock me when they gave him the 3 count. Because I was just expecting, something to just, somebody be like, no, that referee doesn't count, blah, blah, blah. So when he got the 3, I was like, wow, that's kind of shocking. But I still didn't fall for it. I was like, no, they're going to overrule this any second. Mark, did you fall for it?
Well, I mean, I'd already heard it, so I mean, I didn't really fall for it. But I whenever I rewatched it, seeing it as if I was seeing it live, then yeah, I could have bought it because we've seen refs like in the past. Whenever a ref got knocked out somehow, we've seen them come down and it actually stick.
Yeah.
But apparently, if you put your hands on the ref and give them a flying knee off the top, then apparently that doesn't count.
Well, we all know the WWE doesn't really follow rules. They just make them up as they go. So,
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the next segment, we have the first match of the night, which is one of three matches that Roman Reigns had to go through. Uh, Roman Reigns versus King Barrett, no longer Bad News Barrett. As part of his punishment, Reigns has to beat Barrett, or he will lose his Money in the Bank spot. However, if Barrett wins, he will be in it. Anyways, we see another group match that was evenly in going back and forth long enough where Reigns picks up the victory. Mark, did you like this match?
Yeah, I like the match. Not knowing anything else that was going to happen, I thought it was a pretty good match, especially for being the first match out of three. And you just think that, wow, Reigns is going to be so tired by the end of the night. And they actually let Barrett look pretty damn good as far as King Barrett goes, because the last memories I have of him are the Elimination Chamber and him getting demolished, and before that, him versus Neville getting demolished. So, I mean, they at least made him look good losing.
Or before that, having his title stole every single week.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty strong for King Barrett against Roman Reigns.
Which is actually my complaint, if you don't mind me adding my 2 cents. I was really upset with the booking of this gauntlet, because how the hell are you going to put Bray Wyatt last when he's supposed to be this dominant, strong person, and he's got a guy that had to meet 2 other people to get to him now, and he can take you out easily when you let a guy that you've had jobbing the whole time look strong for 15 good minutes. Like, I thought for a minute there he might have had Roman. I was like, man, if they put Barrett over Roman, I wouldn't be shocked. If they were making Barrett look really, really, really strong in this match. I was impressed by that, but I don't know about you, Dan, but I was really confused with the booking of it.
I knew that there was no way Barrett was going to win this match. This is Roman Reigns we're talking about. And Barrett hasn't really won something major since King of the Ring, and before that, I don't know. Would we like to have seen Barrett in the Money in the Bank over Roman Reigns? I don't know. Quite possibly. If this was like a year ago, maybe. But I kind of knew that Roman Reigns was going to win this match, regardless of what. But the match overall was decent. But we are on the same page that regardless of what happens, or, well, maybe we should save this for later, though, but we kind of have an idea who's going to win Money in the Bank. Am I right?
Yeah. I'm 100% certain, actually. So.
Yeah, Mark, are you pretty certain who's going to win Money in the Bank?
Well, not until they give me that last competitor.
Oh, come on.
Oh, no, because if we see someone else, like, let's just say that if Kevin Owens beats John Cena, the Authority gives him a spot in Money in the Bank. We could see a repeat of Kane helping out
I don't think they're going to do Owens 2 matches in one night.
I don't see that either.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
And then it's like pretty much you're going to already set up a feud between Rollins and Owens as is.
Watch that
Well, no, it's just extra security in case Seth doesn't see what's best for business, since he's going off about, I don't need the Authority.
It could be the Big Show. And the final one could be the Big Show.
Yeah.
So.
What? You're reducing Kevin Owens down to the Big Show?
No. I'm saying the final person in the Money in the Bank. I don't want it to be the Big Show, but he just came back, and they didn't make the timing an accident, so.
So there's like 6 participants in it that they announced already, right?
Yeah, which is what I thought is a Money in the Bank ladder match. Like when I saw the 6, I was like, well, there's our roster, and they made sure Michael Cole went out of his way like 4 different times to be like, by the way, fans, that's not all the competitors. Okay, how many are we gonna have 2 rings or?
I mean, I don't know who left to be in it. When I looked at it, I'm like, okay, we got Ziggler, we got Randy Orton, okay, we got Roman Reigns, all right, obviously. Then I was like, Sheamus, and we have Kofi. Like, I understand Kofi Kingston and being in it in a way.
I get it for the spot reason, but Morgan said the same thing. Like, why are you putting a tag team champion in there, and much less the small guy? Like, it makes no sense.
because later on that night, that's when they did their promos, and it was like, yeah, Coffee's gonna be in it, and if he wins it, that means we pretty much all wins it. We can cash in. I'm like, you guys are really trying to make me be fans of y'all.
Yeah, they're great though. They're great. I know you're coming
Yeah.
around. You gotta be coming around.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be interesting to see. That'd be.
Look,
You know
man.
what? I wouldn't.
When Big E spit the milk in the promo he cut a couple of weeks ago, when they found out they had to be in the chamber, I died. Like, I spit milk through my nose. I was like, oh my god, that is hilarious.
But can you imagine the two of them helping Coffee win the Money in the Bank?
Yeah, I could. I could see it.
That's
Not only
crazy.
that, they got, this is a spoiler alert for our listeners, they announced tonight on NXT that the house show that they're having Brock Lesnar at over in Japan is going to be televised on the WWE Network, where they will also be having Kevin Owens defend the NXT title against Finn Balor. But Brock Lesnar will be going one-on-one with, get ready for this, Kofi Kingston.
I'm watching it.
Now,
I'm watching it not because of Brock Lesnar and King. Well, one because of Brock Lesnar, but I want to watch the Finn Balor and Kevin Owens match.
but I know a lot of people are upset about Kofi having to work, Brock, but it's going to be Brock versus the New Day. Because that's what we do. The New Day's got to stick together. So yeah, I think if Kofi's somebody in the bank, yeah, they're listening to the New Day trying to help him out. Now, is he going to win? Well, that's another story. I think the New Day is going to eat about 3 Superman punches. So, we'll see.
Alright, moving on to the next segment, we have the IC title match. And in case you guys don't know this, Ryback is our Intercontinental Champion, and he's set up to go against the return of The Miz. The big guy gives his victory promo, which is a condensed form of his life story, I thought.
Yeah,
Miz comes out, and so does the Big Show. Return after a few weeks, looks about to knock out the big guy, but knocks out Miz and says if anyone's going to take the belt from Ryback, it will be him.
I got a question.
Yeah.
What the hell is Miz wearing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Does Miz think this is what Hollywood people wear?
I don't know. Yeah, I was like, he's getting weird. He's dressing weirder and weirder.
Yeah, Mike, I can't explain it.
You'll be very upset if you find out that Maurice picked it out for him, and that's what she likes.
Well, that's why.
Because you would never wear that, would you?
Exactly, no.
So you could never be with Maurice.
Well, no, she would just have to conform to my ways, which she's willing to do in due time. So,
okay.
You know,
I mean, if Maurice picked it out, then I guess, more props to him.
No, there is no. I'm sorry. You're on
I mean,
national
it's
television.
Maurice is your wife.
But you know what, though? The Miz knows that he's supposed to be laughed at, so I get it. But, man, oh, that's hideous. That's so hideous. I love the Miz, but that's hideous. The Big Show, I guess him and Ryback is a good dude. The Ryback can't call himself the big guy anymore. Cause boy, when they stood there beside each other, Ryback looked so small.
Yeah. I don't like the Big Show. There's no secret. So when I seen him come out, I was like, gosh, go back to where you came from. We don't want you here. I don't know. Mark, did you feel the same way? Was you happy to see Big Show back?
I mean, I guess it's something new and something different, him versus Ryback. So, I mean, and this is just going to be the Big Show puts over the big guy. But I'm actually more entertained in seeing that The Miz may play another third wheel, kind of like how he did at 27, and he may be inserted into the IC title, and we may get a three-way.
What if the Miz is in the Money in the Bank?
Oh, that could happen.
Yes.
But wait a minute. Mark said something. You're telling me, did you just mention that The Miz was in WrestleMania 27 where he main evented?
Where he beat John Cena? Yes, I was.
Yeah, okay. I just want to let everyone know that once upon a time, The Miz has wrestled at WrestleMania and main evented. And he beat John Cena.
Once upon a time, The Miz was an 8-month world champion, sir.
He was the most must-see champion of all time.
Yeah. Apparently someone in booking or creative team forgot about that.
No, they didn't forget about it. The Miz just has other things to worry about, man.
He's too Hollywood now. He doesn't care about those little accomplishments.
Yeah, he's not trying to work hard in the gym all the time now. He's got other things to worry about.
He has his money
So
made.
basically he's taking the Rock route.
Well, except for not without the millions of dollars, yes.
Yeah. He's low
By
budget.
the way, shout out to The Rock for another movie, #1 on the box seller list on day one, San Andreas. The Rock made the right choice.
You know, I heard the move was good though, but I just don't trust a Rock movie.
No, I don't either. That's the thing. Like, everybody, you would think, being wrestler people like we are, and especially being rock fans like we are, that we would just watch every Rock movie that comes out. Yeah, I think the last one I saw was The Rundown, which was the first one. So,
Yeah, that stars my future wife, Rosario Dawson. In case anyone doesn't know, I love Rosario Dawson.
very good movie, by the way, with Christopher Walken, Sean William Scott. Very entertaining.
Yeah. I still would endorse Stone Cold Steve Austin's movies, even though they're like B-rated movies
No,
or straight
I
to
would not.
DVDs.
No.
There are some good movies.
They're action movies. That's all they are. He's a one-trick pony.
The Condemned was really good.
It's an action movie.
So?
The Rock is versatile. The Rock can play anything.
Well, yes. I agree The Rock's a
But
better
didn't
actor.
really act.
But that was still a nice movie.
I know you realize that The Rock is... I'm sorry to get off on a little tangent. You realize The Rock is the #1 grossing movie star in America, right? We're not talking about a genre or we're talking about America.
I just said he's a better actor.
Yeah, I'm talking to Dan.
Oh, okay.
Someone's trying to tell me that Stone Cold may be a better actor than The Rock.
Oh,
No. I'm not saying he's a better actor. I'm just saying that I don't know how many Stone Cold's movies you've seen, but sometimes when I'm scrolling through Netflix and I say, "Oh, there's a Stone Cold movie," and I watch it, I'm like, "Wow, this is a great movie. This was a good story." You know, I'm not saying he's like. I don't think all these wrestlers that turn actors are great at acting. I think that it's just like how the business is.
I'm certain there's only one that's
put up
great
a name. You put a name up there, people are going to see it because such and such is there. But I mean, not a knock to The Rock. I mean, Rock's trying to make his money though. I prefer that. I wish he would have stayed in wrestling just maybe a year or two longer.
No, I think The Rock did the right choice. I was mad at him for a long time, especially when he didn't come back for 7 years. But, yeah, when you make more money than Bruce Willis, you're doing pretty good. So,
Yeah, but
and you're not taking backdrops every night, and traveling 300 days a year, and Rock's doing pretty good. He's okay.
Yeah.
And he's opened the door up for other superstars to do movies as
But
well.
you know what? Not many people are going to be able to do what he does. Like, yeah, and you know what, though? He has no. And look at Sheamus. Sheamus is getting movie roles now. Batista got the big role in Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, yeah, like, The Rock has been a pioneer for this stuff. I guess Hogan is the pioneer. Like, you want to talk about me-rated movies? Hulk Hogan.
Hey, guess what? There's a guy who's probably sitting in his rocking chair down in Florida Beach somewhere, probably saying, "Hey, I paved the way for all this to happen."
Yeah, that's Hulk Hogan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's probably, he's not, he ain't in the rocking chair, sir. He's getting ready to main event WrestleMania, remember?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
And let's not talk about he also had a hit show at one time in the 90s.
It wasn't a hit show.
And he's going to be on Expendables 4.
It wasn't a hit show when Sting and Jessica are on it, so it's not really a hit show.
So you never watched the... So you didn't like Thunder... What was it? Thunder in Paradise?
I watched it. I saw the whole episode. It was garbage.
I only watched like a handful of episodes. It wasn't that good.
First off, Sting is the heel, go figure.
Yeah, when I seen Sting in that one episode, I was like, I'm done with this.
Which just happened to be the same time Hulk Hogan got signed to WCW. Go
I was
figure.
like, that's too much. Here's a question. Did you guys enjoy the Elimination Chamber for the IC?
I did not enjoy any match of the Elimination Chamber that had a chamber involved with it. So, short answer, no. I like the fact that Ryback won and Sheamus didn't, but I didn't like how they got there at all.
Alright, what you thought about this match?
I liked the Intercontinental title more than I did the tag team.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the tag team was garbage. Don't tell us you like that match.
I mean, some spots were cool, but there was just so much commotion that sometimes I kind of got lost in as to what's happening and why it's happening.
Storytelling.
Because if I was Kalisto, I never would have went up there a second time ever. They should have had the spot where he climbed up like a spider monkey first, and then he tried to do it again, and then New Day caught him.
And then why does Ascension take somebody out like within 5 minutes? They're killing 2 teams. And but then when prime time comes in, they just get wiped off the mat in like 3 seconds. Like it's really bad. It's like they knew they had a time frame and they ran out of time.
Oh wow.
That's what it felt like to me. Now I could be wrong, but especially since they were the first match, you wouldn't think they'd have a certain thing. But I'm with Mark, man. Like there were many times in that match where I did not know why they were doing the spots they were doing.
Alright, so
the triple suplex was the best spot.
That was the best spot of the night. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was good. The IC Chamber match was kind of weak to me, but I love the tag team match. I thought it was great.
What did you like about it? Like, tell us what you liked about it.
Alright, so when I first watched it, because I watched it again today and enjoyed it even more, there were some great spots. That's like we talked about. Alright, so the Ascension, I always rip them up like every chance I get. However, this was a match that made them like really look strong and where they looked like legitimately strong.
With that double leg sweep, they looked really strong.
Well, I will agree that at the first part of the match, they looked pretty strong going up against Lucha.
But that's part of the bad storytelling. They looked really strong.
But like Anthony said, as soon as primetime players came in, they took 2 bumps against the cage, flipped them over the ring ropes, hit the finish, Titus got the boot, and it was done.
Yeah, like...
Okay, but here's the thing, though. They eliminated 2 teams, though, so you gotta give them credit for that.
No, I do, but that's what makes me even more mad about the storytelling. Because, like, if they're that dominant and start wiping off teams, why do you have them get wiped off with 2 moves? It don't make any sense.
Like, they should have been taken 4-on-2.
Yeah, like, beat them down. Like, they're the team you gotta jump.
I mean, I think they had a little bit of everyone try to shine a bit. It just started off with the Ascension doing a little dominating here and there. And when the Brass Ring Club came out, they started doing their thing. You know, they had an awesome spot.
No, they got put out way too quick. Because they were running the show. Like, they had the crowd into it.
Los Matadors were a waste of hot space.
I kept hoping that it was Rowan and Harper so bad.
It was like, okay, here's the thing. We already know that New Day's in their pod for like, there's all 3 of them. Los Matadors in their pod. Then you have, what's the bull name, Torito?
Yeah.
He's on top of the pod.
Again.
They're standing there.
Again, bad storytelling. Like, anybody in the cage can be in the match.
And the thing is, it's like, all right, he's just up there. And then when they get the page, he does this one move. That's it. Then he tries to do another move and gets caught up.
Yeah, they kill him.
Yeah, and I'm like, why was he like trying to like help his team out a little bit more? He was just there.
He's a bull and he's dead. They killed him.
They should have done more. Who else was in there? The Brass Ring Club, I wanted them in there longer. Primetime players, they did their thing. They showed up, and I love the fact that they're going to be in the feud.
I know.
With you don't?
No, I don't. I'm not a PTP player at all.
Oh, wow.
They annoy me so much. Titus is like 40, and Darren is Darren, and I don't like them.
Well, see, so in Anthony's world, PTP is the heel and New Day is the face.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all Anthony's going off of now.
But I would just rather see another team, actually.
But let's get into reality. PTP are cool.
No.
New Day
no,
sucks.
PTP is annoying.
They're not. Come on.
No, they're very annoying.
All right, would you rather see them feud against New Day or Usos?
I'd rather see the Usos.
Really?
I can't buy into that one. I don't actually mind the primetime players being in the feud. I still don't think that they're going to win the feud at all. But I mean, I think it'll be at least something different, something that we haven't seen. So
I mean, it's pretty much.
It'll
Pretty
make
much.
the New
We
Day
don't want
look
to see
strong.
Los Matadors. Lucha Dragons disappointed me a little bit in that match.
The bottom line is they had 6 tag teams in this match then, and they really don't have 6 tag teams. Like, they do, but they're only listed as tag team, because we all know that there's really only 3 contenders, I guess, now that we can put PTP in it, in Ascension. So I guess that's 4. There's 4 teams that are viable that could possibly be considered serious teams. Other than that, WWE really doesn't give 2 craps about tag team wrestling. Unless they're giving us an 8-man tag that doesn't matter. So.
I don't know. To me, I thought that was like the best match. No, I'm lying. That was never the best match of the night. That was probably the second best.
No.
No. Because we're going to get into the best match of the night at Elimination Chamber and the best segment.
Yeah.
On Raw.
Well, yeah, but it didn't end the way I hoped it would on Raw. So.
Oh yeah. Of course, the next segment, I believe. Oh, before we move on, what did you guys think about Rusev promo?
Man, I had heartfelt condolences for Rusev. Like, I don't know how he can be the most hated man, and then in 1.5 minute promo make me feel so sorry for him, but I did. I was like, man, Rusev, I hope you do get everything back. That's terrible.
I was watching that promo, and as he kept talking and had his head down, I said, no, don't you dare turn Rusev face on us. Don't you dare do this to me. I was pissed off. I mean, like, even that little comment he made at the end, it was like, no, you can't do it. You gotta come back, man. You gotta do something. Put a bionic foot on your feet or something. I don't know. You gotta do something and come back.
Would it not be possible, like if he's gone for this long, to have Lana look like the hoe that she looks like? And have Rusev be the sympathetic guy? Like, I could buy into that. If Rusev came back as the babyface, I would love that, actually.
I can't buy into that. I'm sorry. Mark, what about you? Were you buying the whole sympathy thing?
Somewhat, yeah. And I'm just waiting for him to come back and just dominate again. I don't think it's going to be a face turn yet. I think he's just going to try to, like, have you eating out of the palm of his hands like you feel sorry for him. And then he's just going to do that thing again. Maybe even put his hands on Lana this time. I don't know.
You don't think that he can be the Brock Lesnar type face?
Oh, no, I'm
the
saying
dominant guy that people like.
I think he can be face, and I think that they're teasing it to us. But I think that just like how he said, "Lana, I'm sorry."
Yeah, I want you to say 3 words.
Or he said, "I was wrong" or whatever.
Yeah.
But you still have to say these 3 words.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I was wrong.
Yeah,
or whatever.
He said, "I'm sorry," but say the 3 words. I was wrong. Yes.
Yeah. So I think he'll do that to us again. I think he's going to troll us on a much bigger stage this time.
I'd be good with that too. Either way, I just want more Rusev, man. I love me some Rusev. So Dan,
only a big deal.
No, you can't say that. You just gotta go with the ride, man.
I can't go with that ride because I'm going to run into a brick wall if I have to. It's just not going to happen. I was like, they can't do this to me. I would do anything if they don't turn Rusev face at this moment.
So he
I
didn't
will
even
be a bold Dallas fan. I will believe in the buzzards or whatever. Whatever that I need to do, don't turn Rusev face.
So you didn't even buy any of it? You didn't have no sympathy for Rusev?
No, because I knew that they were trying to get me to be sympathetic towards him. I didn't want to.
You didn't want to drink the Kool-Aid?
Nope.
Man.
Yeah.
Do you need to, talk to Dr. Shelby? Are you okay? Man. That really upset you.
Every time something good happens, that I really catch on to it, and then just like, okay, this is great. I love this. I want to see where this is going, and then it goes downhill. I get pissed off at that.
For all our listeners, I want you to go back. Now, you're going to have to scroll through a lot of our time in the podcast. Go back to WrestleMania last year when John Cena beat Bray Wyatt. That's the last time Dan was this upset on a podcast. He was devastated then. And now, for some reason, this Rusev promo has shut Dan up.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Hey, don't mess up Rusev character. If you do, I'm coming down to Sanford.
Oh, my God.
We're going to have a talk.
We seem to threaten Sanford every week on this podcast. God, I'm gonna
I know where you work at, Vince.
Yeah.
I know where you work at.
Alright, so I guess it's time to move on to that glorious segment, huh?
The glorious segment that, guys, I don't even know how to explain this. If you guys want to introduce this, because I'm speechless at this.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
We all know my favorite wrestler in the world, Kevin Owens, beat John Cena cleanly in Elimination Chamber. I haven't been that's gonna be the only time that happens, by the way. But he beat him, and that's all that matters. That was a great match, by the way. That match stole the whole card, obviously. The promo on Monday night, Owens, for the first 5.5 minutes, I was like, okay, there isn't a promo that could possibly be better than this. He is absolutely putting John Cena in his place. And then Cena came out and totally played off of everything Owens said and turned it on him by saying, act like you've been here before, and yeah, you beat me, so what, do it again. And then he picked out the kid in the crowd with the I'm meaning cancer sign wearing the John Cena hat. And yeah, Kevin Owens looked like a jackass and lost that promo, for sure. John Cena owned him. That was my thoughts on it. Yeah, man, this is gonna be the new Rock Austin, folks. I said it on the last podcast, and I'll say it on this one. You better get used to, Kevin Owens and John Cena. We're gonna see a lot more of it.
So, here's the thing, too. I know for the past couple of weeks since he debuted, I haven't jumped on the bandwagon or the boat or whatever. I think I was pretty fair in criticizing him, in my opinion. But that Elimination Chamber match was the second, in my opinion, best match of this year so far.
Wow.
They were going at it. I mean, Kevin Owens dominated, and Cena did his thing. I mean, they literally pulled out every package that they could, every moveset that they could possibly think of or have.
Including the package. Kinda.
Oh my goodness.
Kinda.
That package power driver, I was like, the 2 seconds, I know the whole world just stopped.
I
like
did.
2 seconds in slow motion.
I stood up on my one crippled leg. I was up on my feet, actually.
I was like, is he gonna do what I think he's gonna do? I was like, this dog right here just trolling me. But
yeah, then I got mad. Like, whenever he did the little toss, I got a little pissed. Like, I started doing pacing around in the living room. I was upset.
Yeah, and so, I mean, he beat him clean. I was like, okay, congratulations to him. The next night, I was like, this is his chance to really rip John Cena, probably set up for a rematch or possibly, feud with someone else. But the promo he did was great, but John Cena is a legend.
Oh my God.
I have to put him at legend. And I hate giving him credit.
No, we have
really
to.
hate him.
We have to. Not because, like, the last week when they had the promo and he tried to say that Owen crapped his pants and Owen didn't buzz. I don't care what nobody says. Owen did not break in his first promo. But on this one, Owen couldn't do anything but stand there and bite his lip because he knew that Cena had put him in his place.
Now, I'm not sure if they have that free range of going back and forth or anything, or it's just
I think they do.
So basically, there was nothing he could say even if he wanted to.
Well, I mean, what are you gonna say? You were gonna Kevin Owens let that kid have his moment. That's what he did.
If he wants me to be his number one favorite fan, okay, I'm not gonna say that because that makes me look like a jerk. So I'm not going to be that guy to say it first.
It's too late. Now they know what you're thinking.
Huh?
It's too late. Now everybody knows what you're thinking.
Okay, so if he wants like that super hot red heat on him, like beyond Rusev, and make a fan out of me, like I'm a fan of Kevin Steen, the Kevin Owen. I mean, to me, I think there's somewhat of a difference.
No, they're getting pretty similar. And he did end his promo now by saying, I'm going to set my boy now, and I'm going to make my son watch what happens to John Cena. And if all of your parents out there are good parents, you'll do the same thing. That's pretty hellish, dude.
I don't know.
I mean,
Mark,
most
yeah, go ahead,
of
Mark.
the promo itself was pretty heelish. Like whenever he was talking about his son, and he had to explain how's John Cena? Why did you hurt John Cena?
He got a little pissed when the crowd booed his son, though.
And then
he was like, he's just a kid, guys. He's just a kid.
And then he was like, it's just blind worship.
Yeah.
Talking about all the propaganda and stuff, and they're portraying him as a living, breathing superhero. But last night, I beat Super Cena.
I think he's the first guy to say Super Cena in a promo.
Yeah, I kind of like marked out a little bit when he said that. I was like, oh my gosh,
You need to
Super
get used to
Cena has
that
been mentioned.
You need to get used to that with Kevin Owens, by the way, because he's a lot like CM Punk when it comes to pipe bombs. He's just gonna say things off the handle a lot. So.
Yeah, but I
Well,
like
he should. Go ahead.
I like how they're going at this feud. It's portraying Kevin Owens, because he's been portrayed in NXT, as a family man, but he's willing to do anything for his family. But John Cena is just exactly the complete opposite.
Yep.
He's not actually a family man. He has no family. But he does everything just for the kids and being a role model. And how Kevin Owens is the exact opposite. Yet he's trying to be the role model for his son and try to provide for his kid. I mean, it's a pretty cool contrast.
Yeah, that promo was awesome whenever he said, I can't be my son's role model because I wasn't on TV like John Cena was.
I was just working my ass off.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing. That's the biggest contrast I like about this storyline. Is they're taking the indie John Cena and they're putting him against John Cena. Like, you're getting the indie top guy versus the machine top guy. It's pretty awesome to watch as a wrestling fan.
Oh man, man. Can you imagine if Kevin Owens just like became himself? Well, not necessarily
Now,
became
have you-
himself, but
have
just
you
said,
wa-
"Hey, I'm gonna respond and just say screw that kid back there."
Now, how much Kevin Steen stuff have you watched in the past?
I probably haven't watched it compared to watched enough of it compared to the typical one, but for the past maybe couple of years or whatever, I've been watching it off and on. But now recently, I've been trying to get into some of his matches that he's done, and I recommend anyone who has not watched any of his old matches to watch the matches between him and Tyler Black, aka Seth Rollins.
Yeah, those are good, and the ones with Jericho are the best for me. But
Oh yeah, definitely.
pretty much. What do you think's gonna happen to Money in the Bank? You think Cena's getting the win back?
I don't care now.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I mean, he probably could, but now to the point, I don't care. I want to see them do some promos again.
yeah, I'm at the point too where I just want to see him talk too.
But I don't think they can really top what they just did at Elimination Chamber.
They're gonna try.
I think that the feud's going to end in a bloodbath, to be honest. I mean, not maybe a bloodbath like we used to have in Attitude Era, but at least opened up as much as Brock did at WrestleMania.
I think that Kevin will be the one open though.
Yeah.
And I also think that they're gonna get 4 matches out of this. I think they're gonna have
So you think it's going to end probably like around SummerSlam?
Yeah, we'll get it at Battleground and then we'll get it at SummerSlam too.
But can we at least get the what was it? The U.S. Challenge?
Yeah, it'll come back. I can see Owens interfering in it a lot though.
I think he's going to probably continue on. I think it's going to be like a big thing now because Kevin Owens now is going to do.
By the way, screw you, John Cena, for coming out and saying, I was going to give you this title until you opened your mouth. No, you were not. No, you were not going to hand him that title, you liar. Anyway, that's what pissed
I
me off.
forgot about that part. That kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Yeah. First off, he don't want your title, okay? He's the NXT champion.
And he has an NXT Championship Open Challenge on SmackDown tomorrow.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
I don't know what it means to be the NXT champion versus being the U.S. champion.
It means a lot because NXT is the top brand in WWE, so...
I don't
No, it
know.
is. No, it's definitely in the top brand.
I don't know. But yeah, I want to know who's going to accept this challenge.
Do you want to know? I mean, do you really want to know?
Woo
Am I going
woo
to be pissed
woo.
off?
It's, you know it.
Well, who is it going to be?
You know it.
Oh, Zack Ryder's really? Really?
That's
Yeah,
right.
Zack Ryder gets his butt kicked.
Zack
Why
Ryder
did-
runs up on a stretcher, actually.
So basically, okay, I like the fact that Zack Ryder's getting some TV time here and there.
Mhm.
But
you don't got to worry
not
about that for a while after tomorrow night.
He's working tomorrow night.
He's taking the NXT Open Challenge.
Oh yeah.
And that'll be the last match he has for a while, I promise.
Why?
Kevin gets a little hardcore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So basically, we're not going to see Zack Ryder for a while because he's going to die.
Kevin's been doing this whole gimmick in NXT where he puts everybody on a stretcher. And apparently they're bringing that to WWE television. So,
Oh, so he's Sid Vicious now. Okay.
yep, he's going to be putting people out of commission. That's Kevin Owens.
All right. Any last thoughts on this segment?
No, I mean, I'm like everybody said, like, we don't give Cena enough credit, even though, we have a lot this year. But yeah, he totally owned this segment and proved why he's the top guy, for sure.
All right. I believe the next segment is the segment where someone's going to get their wig split.
Yeah. And another quick match. We ain't got to talk about it long. Yeah, this is another match they just set up for Roman. Looked really good, really quick. Yeah.
Did anybody was okay with Mark Henry taking the place of Rusev?
Yeah, that actually pissed me off because I wanted Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, I know that probably pissed you off, but I can understand because he is from Texas.
Yeah. By the way, his pod opened early, which was really weird. And he was like, "All right, I'm in the match now." All right.
At least he rolled with it, though.
Yeah, no, he did. He sold it perfect. Like, he got out like, this is what I do. All right.
Breakdown pods.
That's right. That glass fell because I looked at it.
Well, one pod opened early, another pod assumably opened late.
It didn't even open early. He got thrown into it and it broke.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think it was Ryback that took the blue too.
I gotta go back on that one because that match was just pretty bad.
And Sheamus, Sheamus actually is the one who was like probably not wanting his pod to open at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Ever. He probably locked that himself with his own little.
She was like, I can't get in.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was actually a work, man. That was for sure a work.
There's the funny thing about it is we all didn't want Sheamus to win,
Yeah,
so
he
we
did.
expected him to win.
Yeah, I didn't like the match, but because he didn't win, I was okay with it.
Yeah, but I was like, all right. I think what was last week we did our picks. I was like, all right, Ryback's gonna probably least likely win.
Yeah.
But once he won, I was like, okay, this makes sense. I'm okay with this.
It helps a lot that Daniel Bryan endorsed him, although you should probably not call him the Ryback on national TV, even though that's your thing personally. Don't let the crowd start calling him the Ryback, please.
And also, speaking of calling, could we not have King call Michael Cole Jr.?
Yeah, that was tragic. But I'm glad they didn't ignore it. Like, they pointed it out on camera.
Yeah, it was like a bit annoying to
He
me.
was like, I'm not JR.
JR ain't coming through those coming down that ramp anytime soon.
Now, by God, he isn't. Alright.
Mark, you got any thoughts on the Roman and Mark Henry match?
I wish that Mark Henry would have been the opening match against Roman Reigns, but other than that, then it was a pretty quick match. Roman picked him up for a Samoa drop, which kudos, I guess. It's not like we've never seen Mark Henry get picked up before, but
It ain't like we've never seen Mark Henry wrestle Roman Reigns.
well, yeah.
Not as much as Big Show.
We've seen it about 3 times now.
That's still better than 57.
Well, yeah.
At the end of the day, they're still glorified jobbers.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mark Henry never got his due, man. They should have did way more with him.
Yeah, what was up with Roman Reigns' eye after that match?
I didn't notice that. I missed that.
Yeah, it's like he kept on like rubbing his eye or something, even like after he got beat up and whatever.
He might be allergic to sexual chocolate.
Possibly. Or he may have just got dust in his eye. I don't
That
know.
could be too.
I don't know. Whatever.
Yo, before Mark Henry retires officially, for real, he needs to bring back sexual chocolate.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen in the PG era.
No,
so.
he should bring back the House of Pain.
Yeah, I would take that over sexual chocolate.
Man, come on. You gotta bring back sexual chocolate, and then you gotta make it a storyline where he's trying to find his
Sexual
son.
chocolate needs Viagra at his age already.
Or at least he could be sensual chocolate, make it PG.
And he can't be that any longer either because he has a kid, you know. I mean, he can't do that. Han does not appreciate his daddy being sexual chocolate any longer.
What? Hand?
Yeah, that's his kid name.
Oh, oh, God. See there, guys? There's things I try to forget on purpose. Man.
Here's a storyline. What if sensual Mark Henry and Han does a Dr. Shelby session about why Mark Henry wasn't there for him growing up?
Man.
No, Vince, do not listen
Please
to this.
don't listen to this podcast, Vince. Oh, he would make that a 15-minute segment on Raw. You know he would.
That would be gold.
It would just take up the whole entire 9:30 to 10 slot. I'm just nothing but a long vignette.
Can they talk about like I grew up without a father, my mother's dead?
No, we can't do that.
No. Oh my God. Dan just setting up Mark abandoning his bastard son the hand. And
I'm
Dr.
telling you, man,
Shelby
they
is
need to
gonna
put me in
fix
a creative team.
Oh.
Alright,
we need to move on before this show dies.
Alright, we got the next match. It's Nikki versus Paige for the, oh my gosh, it's a title match on Raw. It's for the Divas. I don't know what to say about this. I don't even know what to say about the Elimination Chamber match other than why is the Nikki winning and why are the referees so dumb where they can't tell the difference between one of the Bellas.
That's my problem. That's all I'm going to say about it is they're the most identical twins probably on the planet. And Ray Charles knows the difference between them. So
because you don't have to see it, you can feel it.
I wasn't. I didn't.
You
I
should
didn't
be able
say
to feel
that.
it, but never mind.
Mark's comment does not directly reflect those of wrestling during the radio. No offense to the blind community. Yeah. So I think.
I meant the ponytail, folks.
So the bottom line is, yeah, I'm with Dan. The referees have got to be the dumbest people in America. No, on the planet. America isn't good enough. I'm starting to think of this twin magic stuff. I love the Bellas too. I think they've gotten a lot better in the ring. They're good workers, but their time has come. It's time to give the belt to somebody else.
All that's going to happen, really, if it does, change hands, it's going to be probably Brie getting the belt.
Oh no, it can't stay with the Bella.
Because it's like at the end of the day, they're not going to bring up anyone from NXT anytime soon.
Well,
Naomi, for some reason, she's out the picture. Paige is pretty much out the picture. So it's time for someone in the Divas division to step up. I don't know who it's going to be, but I don't know.
So it's going to be another Bella.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty pathetic that it's going to be another Bella. And I think it's very pathetic that John Cena's woman is the one who's carrying the belt for as long as she's carrying it, and she's on the verge of probably breaking AJ's record.
Shut your damn mouth, that's not going to happen. So, I was wondering with this whole thing when they said Naomi is out of the picture, where did Naomi go?
I don't know. Where did she go in the Elimination Chamber match? What happened there?
She was in it, I just don't know.
I mean, yeah, she was.
But like Paige clearly said in her promo on Raw, now that Naomi is out of the picture, it's just us. Why is Naomi out of the picture?
We don't know.
Mark,
And like,
is there
when was the
anything that
last
happened in the match
time
that we're
anybody
missing?
spoke about giving divas a chance since AJ left?
Mark is our solid diva analyst. Mark, you watched every minute of that match at the Elimination Chamber.
I guess because Naomi is the one who lost the match.
She takes the pinfall? Okay.
So I'm guessing that that's what Paige meant by she's out of the picture. Now it's not a triple threat.
But she wasn't hurt? She wasn't wounded? Or
Not that I know of. I mean, there might be something that she actually did in the match.
She's out the picture because she's black. Sorry.
Whoa. Again, Dan stuff do not directly reflect those of wrestling material.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So sorry. Just a theory.
Well, we've made blind jokes and that joke, so I'm gonna get a cripple joke in here before we end the show. We'll be set.
But no, it really doesn't make sense how we keep on seeing the same people in the Divas title division, and they're not winning it, and no one, outside of Naomi, Paige, maybe Natty, and the Bellas, to step up and say, hey, I want to be a number one contender. I'd rather for Alicia Fox to step up, but yeah, and I don't too much particularly care for her character. I'd rather for her to step up.
Well, I love her character, actually, so. Yeah, but pretty much I'm with you. I'm the Divas segment have gotten to where that's my break. I'm like, okay, and doing another Bella match, great.
Mark, any last thoughts on this?
Nah, there was a WWE.com article about Nikki saying that she wants some NXT competitors since she's done with all the divas in the main roster.
They would mock her.
They would not. They wouldn't because they'd put her over, but she would be working in slow motion if she got in the ring with Sasha or Charlotte or Becky. They would run circles around her.
Exactly. I don't even think either one of the Bellas are a top 5.
Well, no, but that's the point. Like, they don't have to be. Like, they're just good looking and their skills are good enough to where they're believable to where they can sneak wins. They don't ever win dominant. You gotta give them that. They always sneak their wins.
I'm tired of the Divas division because it's like, I believe I seen something earlier today. It was talking about how probably the Divas division is ruining the company a bit, or I don't know. But it's like, for the most part, it's like all of them are the same type of person.
I don't think it's helping the company, but I think it's so unimportant or irrelevant that it doesn't hurt it either. It's just there.
Well, y'all are thinking of a male's perspective. I'm sorry, but there's some little girls out there in that audience, and they're probably U.S. total probably equate to maybe 100,000, but that's still 100,000 plus their parents that go there just to see divas because that's how they know them.
No, there's no way.
They're basically watching.
You should go see Nikki Bella's fan.
They're watching divas that are nothing but blonde hair, who try to look like Lita. If you're Spanish, you're gonna have to try to look like Lita. And if you're black, you gotta have some sort of ghetto attitude or something. It's all stereotypical to me.
Well, yes, it's stereotypical. What do kids normally go for? The stereotypes. That's how you introduce them to characters.
And they do have the different woman too, like Paige has the different looking one, even though she's sexy anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
But at the same time though, I gotta agree though, man. Like I seen Mark's point here about how they are important to some things, but you're not gonna convince me that the WWE makes them important because they don't. They just put them in the show.
I know. I mean, they're not important to WWE as far as like they're gonna go under if not, but they still draw their little crowd or whatever, and it's just something new and something that little kids can. Maybe they'll end up watching NXT and see actual women's wrestling once you get them in the door, kind of thing.
All right. Well, we'll just wait and see. I'm just hoping for AJ to walk through those doors again. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, keep hoping. That's definitely not going to happen. You want to see her again, you can look at Phil Brooks and Spike whenever that happens.
All right. Next segment, we got Ziggler versus Coffee. Where Ziggler picks up the win in this match, and he is attacked by New Day, which no one other than Primetime Player comes out to save him, and guess what? They make this into a 6-man tag team match.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, didn't see this. You would have thought this was going to be a main event.
So
Because
did
they
I saw
love 6-man tag teams in the main event.
so did I saw New Day start beating down on Dog. I was like, here we go, buddy. 6-man time.
Got to fit that in there. Mark, you like 6-man tag teams matches?
No, but I mean, they could have just went without the Kofi versus Dolph match and just gave us the primetime players and Ziggler. But I mean, I guess it tells a little story, maybe somewhat. But I will say that San Antonio finally has champions in their presence once again.
That's right.
Xavier Woods told them the truth. Even if they can't get the NBA Finals, they have champions in San Antonio once again.
Todd ain't gonna be so upset.
Oh man, he did rip off.
I apologize.
Yeah.
Wow.
Xavier Woods said it, not me.
Yeah, I didn't really appreciate the shot at Tim Duncan. First off, I will say that, like, I enjoy what the New Day's doing, but this isn't just about the New Day, it's for every heel. Like, whenever you go to the town they're in and that's what you reach for, try to be a little more original. Like, find a new way to generate heat, because...
It's the cheap
Yeah, I
booze.
don't like it. Like, it's
You don't like
so
Foley's
dumb.
cheap pops?
No. No, work for it. Give me something. Be original.
Yeah, but I kind of like this new feud that's going on between them. I mean, I would rather for the Brass Ring Club to be back in the title hunt again, but giving I think the not necessarily breaking news, but update that I think Tyson Kidd is injured now, like legitimately, from that dark match against Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's on the main roster now.
It's up in the air. There's mixed reports.
Yeah. So hopefully he's not seriously injured and they can still compete, because if he's hurt and he's out for some time, I would worry about Cesaro now.
Why?
Because it's like, what's going to happen with him if his partner's out
You
for a
can make
while?
him solo, which is what he needed to be all along.
You can have him
but
attack
they've been burying him.
No.
Or you could have him attack Samoa Joe for injuring his tag team partner.
Which would be a great feud between Claudio and Joe.
It could. But here's the thing, too. Speaking of injuries and tag team, why do you think they haven't used one of those Usos that's not injured so far?
I mean, why wouldn't they're not solo wrestlers, and they know that. Like, they know their bread and butter is just being Usos.
Really?
Yeah,
So
I mean,
no matter how long they tag team, it will not
Okay,
be a good idea to break them.
did you ever see Hawk and Animal work solo?
They have, I think.
They
later on in their
have?
career.
Okay, and did you ever see them win titles solo? Did they ever have successful runs?
No, but I was okay watching Animal fight.
Animal always had somebody on his side. It was whether it was Heinrich or some other crap hole.
Oh, okay, let's use this example. Steiner Brothers.
Okay, Rick Steiner never had a good solo career at all, ever. He was the jobber.
Okay, in every tag team, whenever you break up, there's at least one guy that's going to always flourish over the other.
Well,
And maybe it's time for, I don't even know who they are, which is which, but the one that's not hurt. Maybe it's just time to flourish a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think so. The difference in the Rick and Scott and the other ones that you mentioned, they weren't identical. They're easy to look at them and tell who the difference is. To this day, even when you put the wife in between them, Naomi, I still can't tell you who she's married to. Don't know. Can't tell this from the part.
Sure. What do you think, Mark? Are you with me on this or what?
I wouldn't take them being broken up just because one of them's injured. It would have to actually be a storyline of if the other one injured the other one. I mean, the brothers' feuds normally are pretty damn good, but you need a storyline to it. I can't just see one Uso pop out finally and say, well, since my other brother...
Yeah. Last time we got that, we got the terrible Goldust Stardust here.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know about that. I mean, maybe they could run something about he actually gets some momentum going, and then the other brother comes in and he's like, remember our tag team? No, you're on your own now. I'm succeeding.
That,
But I mean, I don't know if WWE's that smart.
Well, obviously they're not because they hadn't had a match yet, and it's been about 3 months. So.
Yeah, so I mean, they're just going to hold them off TV until they're ready.
Like, I hear what you guys saying, but it's like this too. For fans, we always change up every so often. After a while, we get sick and tired of the same team, teaming up together. It's like, okay, when are they going to break up?
So
Every team has some sort of breakup.
So you would endorse Jimmy or Jay Uso being a singles wrestler, but Cesaro would be buried if he was.
Okay, what was Cesaro doing before he joined
That's
Wrestling
before.
Club?
You know how many people have been buried and got a push 3 years later?
Or 6 months later?
Yeah, Ryback. Prime example.
What about Ryback?
He's getting a push.
You know because Ryback has been pushed?
Well, okay. He started, when he came back, when he debuted as the big guy, Ryback, he had a huge push.
Yeah, he beat a bunch of jobbers, and then he had a match with CM Punk, and the Shield attacked him, and that was the end of Ryback.
And then he did have some setbacks, and then he came back.
Then he went to
Now,
Paul
Cesaro,
Heyman. You want to tell me that Paul Heyman role was really good? How did that go? Ryback, so tell me how that team went.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know. You figure that you stick someone with Paul Heyman, they'll be gold. I guess that's not the case with him.
Okay, but Ryback rebounded. That's the point. Every time Ryback's been down, he's rebounded. Why can't Cesaro?
Not at this stage, I don't think so. I mean, you have to build them up. And how long would that take for you to build them up?
Nah, you ain't got to build him up. Because whether Vince thinks so or not, the crowd loves Cesaro.
And you've already built him up. He's the strongest pound-for-pound wrestler on your roster. All you have to do is click back highlights of him thrusting out Big Show and whatnot, and run him as a super athlete or a super Swiss guy.
And JBL and Cole put over his strength every time he does a move, so...
And ever since he won that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, it's been downhill from here.
Okay.
He was the tag team champs after that. What are you talking about?
He's not... I just fear that he's going to not be recognized too well as a singles competitor. He's not going to be... I'm not saying he's going to be in a low card, though, but I don't think people are going to take him as serious.
No. It's not going to be the people that is the problem. It will be creative and upper management that is the problem.
Yeah, that's true.
The people love Cesaro, and if they would just let him run with it, he would be over, and they're not going to do it.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, too, I think Tyson Kidd needs to get a push in singles, though, because I really like that guy.
Well, I think that's another topic in itself, but I think they can use the cruiserweight division, and I think he's a prime candidate to be a cruiserweight champion for sure.
Ooh, man, cruiserweight. That is a... Yeah, you got to touch on that one day.
I would do it. I'd bring Neville, I'd put Neville in that thing. I'd have a bunch of high flyers.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think they could do something with the cruiserweight, but I don't think it would be as popular as it used to be. Like back
no, it wouldn't. But it wouldn't be as popular at all. But you can make it popular. The United States title wasn't popular for 20 years. Now look at it. So.
Yeah. Any last thoughts on what are we talking about again? I forgot.
Ziggler and the Primetime Players versus New Day.
That's how irrelevant. We made up for that six-man tag by talking about whatever the hell we wanted to. That's what happened.
All right, next up, you know what? I don't have nothing for this other than the return of Randy Orton versus Sheamus.
Yeah.
The crowd was like so boring.
You know what?
I tried to enjoy this match, but I just couldn't because of the crowd.
I got bad news, man. Looks like we're gonna get a feud out of this. We're gonna, if it boring you now, just wait till the next couple of months.
I like Randy Orton.
I like Randy Orton, and I like the way Sheamus works, but for some reason, it's like that with John Cena too. Like, Randy Orton is a good worker. John Cena is a good worker. But when you put Randy Orton against John Cena, it just doesn't work. And I get that feeling with Randy Orton and Sheamus as well. I'm like, man, this is awkward. This is just not good.
I'm at least hoping that maybe Sheamus, because he's such a stiff worker, maybe he legitimately pisses Randy off one time, and we just get an insane Randy again.
Well, I bet they are. I mean, they're going to be physical. It's going to be a physical
No,
fight.
I mean just psycho Randy. like pissed off at the
I don't
crowd.
think that. No, I hope not.
I mean,
But you know
Well,
how annoying
that'll
the
happen.
promos will be?
We're gonna get angry at Randy Orton because the moment the crowd starts chanting random stuff, that's what pisses Randy off the most. He loses it.
He does. But you know Randy Orton, he's not great with promos. His mic skills are not the best.
I don't think
And
so.
then we hate Sheamus when he opens his mouth. So this feud right here is just not going to entertain me.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
I'm not. I'm not going to be entertained by this. I just want to I want him to RKO Sheamus and just leave it at that.
Just roll credits. I hear you. Yeah, this is gonna be definitely one of those feuds that I'm tuning out of. So.
I imagine that Randy's going to probably try to put over Sheamus just to make him a little stronger.
No. Randy's put over enough people. It's time for Randy to get a few wins.
I'll enjoy the feud if we get something with tons and tons of brutality. I mean, it starts off with a chair shot and a whole bunch of chair shots. I'm ready to see like a weapons match.
Here's the problem with that, okay? How often are we going to ask Sheamus to work this kind of matches?
That's what he does so well.
Every time we put Sheamus in the match, we're like, you know what you need to do? You need to really beat the shit out of this person. Like, just take a mean with a steel chair over the back.
That's what Sheamus does, though.
Poor Sheamus. I hope he's on another roll in the cycle. He's going to need it.
He shouldn't have started his career with a lead pipe, and I wouldn't be wanting him to do this so much, okay?
Yeah, he'll take it. He's a champ at it. I mean, is he the one that said he loves to fight or something?
Yeah, he used to say that, yeah.
That was actually Finley. Finley said he loved to fight.
Well, so does Sheamus.
Oh, I guess it's just an Irish
It's just
thing.
an Irish thing,
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Kevin Owens Irish?
I'm not sure.
No, he's Canadian.
He's Canadian. That's
I know he
part
is.
French.
I know he is. I'm
Part
just saying.
French, so I mean,
Irish
it's
blood.
close enough.
Trust me, I know what he is. Damn you guys. Alright.
Oh, hey, why not Sheamus and Kevin Owens feud?
Because Kevin Owens is way better than that.
Okay, maybe though, but of course on TV or behind the scenes, they're gonna say, "Hey, Sheamus, we want you to make Kevin Owens look stronger. Even though we know he's strong, but we want you to make him look even stronger."
Kevin Owens next feud is Samoa Joe.
Oh man, I don't know where they're gonna go with Owens after seeing it because there's so many directions.
It's Samoa Joe.
I don't know. Maybe. Well, you know what? They could go with Samoa Joe because allegedly Samoa Joe's on the main roster, but I want him and Balor to go fight for a while. But Balor's not on the main roster yet.
Well, Balor should have meet Owens here at this July the 4th show. And I think we're going to have some kind of shenanigans happen. They're in Japan, and this is another spoiler alert that me and Bart have constantly noticed, but Finn Balor has started using the Bullet Club sign every time he's coming to the ring, and the Bullet Club resides in Japan, which is where this title match is happening. I'm not trying to connect any dots with AJ Styles here, but
oh my God, don't do this.
I'm just saying there's a small chance that we could have a Bullet Club reunion in Japan.
You know what? I'm not gonna buy this. Nope. You're not gonna tell. Nope. I'm not saying it because of AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles' chances, like he could come back or whatever, but I could care less.
Let me
But
ask
the
you
Bullet
this.
Club is a very solid staple.
Let me ask you this. Why would they randomly decide that they're going to tape a house show on the network if it wasn't going to be a big deal?
I know it's going to be a big deal, but I don't want to buy it yet. I don't because I don't want to get excited because Anthony told me this theory, and then it happens. I get excited, and then I become disappointed, and then I have to rant and rave on this podcast.
I mean, there is a very good chance that it might not happen. So,
Okay,
it's probably a good idea that you don't get your hopes up. But if it does happen, I will probably be the happiest person on this side of Mississippi. So, because, okay, the indie fan in me, I felt like AJ kind of like robbed Finn Balor of the Bullet Club, because Balor built it and put it all together, and AJ was like, okay, well, it's mine now. Yeah, that'd be kind of crazy if they cross paths. So that's what I'm kind of hoping at.
And why do it in Japan?
Yeah,
Like, it's not an NXT special. Like,
Yeah.
why make it in Japan?
I mean,
Where
probably
AJ
they're on
Styles
their
happens
tour,
to
their
be.
regular scheduled tour or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Samoa Joe has obviously, as I heard on his podcast, has said he has reached out to all of his indie friends to tell them what a great deal this NXT contract can be with working part time. I'm pretty sure one of those phone calls was AJ Styles.
But even though, well, it depends on who his indie friends are. Let's say they all come to NXT. There's no guarantee all of them are going to make it on the main roster.
There's no guarantee that everybody on the Bullet Club would make it on the main roster.
I would love that. I would love that though.
Because
But does
Cause
Finn
Doc-
Balor or Prince
cause-
even owns the name, or does New Japan or whoever knows it?
well, actually, Balor has already started coming out with shirts on WWEshop.com. It's called Balor Club, so he's taking Bullet Club and just putting his name on it, Balor Club. So,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. But
Probably
yeah, no,
WWE told him to do that because they want a piece of that pie.
But you know, he actually is, like, even to this day, they pay homage to him. Like, they fully promote and give credit, they give shout outs to him. Like, he's the guy. He made Bullet Club. It was his
That's good.
idea.
That's good. I would love to see a Bullet Club. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Yep,
No.
I know it.
Invasion. Invasion. Oh, God.
I know. We'll see. Time will tell. Like I said,
And this is July 4th?
yeah, July the 4th, it'll be on the network. I think that's a Saturday, maybe. Yep, that'll be, we'll see what happens with it. I know that Owens isn't going to drop that title cleanly, because they're not going to do that to Kevin Owens. So, there's going to be some kind of shenanigans going, and another spoiler alert, Balor is going to be turning heel soon. So, they got to do something heelish at this pay-per-view to set it up, because Balor is the one who attacked Tommy. I'm going to believe that fully. So, the demon, whenever he paints himself up as the demon man, he don't have any control over himself. So, that could be the excuse. He's going to be the demon on the 4th as well. He already said that. So, when he fights Kevin, when he
Touch a
fights
little bit on
Owens,
this before we move on. He's like, his character is the demon.
Yep.
Can you imagine him and Kane facing off on the main roster, fighting over the name?
Unfortunately, I can. That'd be terrible.
And then he says, I'm the devil's favorite demon.
The only way that would work is if Balor came out painted up first and he was like, yeah, look at my paint, I'm the bad man. And then the lights went out and Kane came out in the mask, like that would be pretty gangster.
Yeah, WWE creative, writers, whoever, get on that.
Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and get to this main event.
No.
Alright.
Oh, hold up. Oh, we're
Bowden
almost
Neville.
there.
Bo
We're two
versus
away.
Neville.
Okay.
I mean, we could get to this main event if you want. We can skip both out.
Now, we gotta go ahead and talk about Bo.
Oh my gosh.
We gotta talk about Bo's attempt to turn and being a heel. He lost. I kind of knew it was coming. But you gotta admit, he just come out of his shell a little with this whole heel Bo. He's getting a little angry now.
I was trying to help you, but now I'm just trying to hurt you.
Now I'm gonna hurt you.
Bo Wyatt.
No, it's not gonna happen. Right now, there's no Wyatts, so there's. I mean, it's totally ridiculous they have the Wyatts on the roster. They're like, we're not worried about this tonight. I know, I take that back. They realized they had Bray near the end of the show. They were like, oh, we need to put somebody in. Hold on.
I got a feeling it's going to fit Bray in at the end somewhere.
That pissed me off so much, man.
Yeah.
So much. You have no idea. Like, and it ain't because you know how much I want to see Bray Wyatt. But why is he not first? Like, if you want the easy win for the third ball, you put the weak guy at the third ball. Then it's believable. Bray Wyatt should have been able to take advantage of a wounded Roman Reigns. And he lost in about 6 minutes. It was garbage.
Spoiler alert, fans. We moved past the Bo and Neville, and now we're on to Roman versus Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, that is a spoiler alert, because Neville won, period. That was one thing. We all know that. We already covered that. Dan don't even want to talk about it. You want to add anything to it?
No, I said my part.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But we didn't introduce it.
Alright. Well, yeah, bottom line, it led into that match following that. Which was garbage.
The Wyatt brothers.
They did follow each other, so there you go.
And Bray Wyatt did main event.
So,
Wrong.
Dan, you're the one that's so critical of Bray when he loses. I know this didn't help your cause at all.
It really did.
Now, I can't say I disagree with you tonight, man. They made him look like shit.
But I'm pretty sure you preferred him to beat Roman Reigns so he can put himself back in the Money in the Bank.
Of course, but I knew it wasn't going to happen, which is why I was pissed off the moment I heard it was announced. Like, I was very upset, because if he... I knew he was going to lose. That's why I wanted to go first. Give Bray the 15-minute match where Bray looks strong. Wayne Barrett doesn't need that.
Especially how you've been treating those two.
Yeah,
It's like just for this one night they switched reverse roles or something.
Yeah, they were like, look, you're going to be the driver tonight, Bray. Sorry. I
He's
don't
probably
know.
saying I'm used to it by now.
No, man. Dan, this is really helping Danny Cakes a lot.
You're like, hey, just give me a few that doesn't make sense so I can make it happen.
Is that your Bray Wyatt?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Okay,
There's plenty more where that came from.
ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Main event was, what do we have?
The Dean Ambrose segment.
Yeah, it was just Dean. It was Dean, having to give the title back, and, spoiler alert, Dean didn't.
But he does have his ladder match at Money in the Bank.
That's right, he got it. It's his match. He's gonna... Roman is, his buddy. I guess Roman. That's gonna help him get the belt that he couldn't get himself.
And it's so weird. Their friendship is just so weird. It's like...
They gotta turn it. They're gonna turn it.
They have to turn it because it's like the weirdest friendship I've ever seen in wrestling history.
It ain't that bad. Come
I was
on.
about to say we've seen Kane with friends before, okay? So I mean, like it's not the weirdest.
I've seen some weird pairings. Like, as good as
Booker T and
Yeah, Booker
Goldust.
T and Goldust. That's exactly what I was thinking about.
That was weird, but it was like entertaining.
Which is why weird can sometimes work. Okay, Team Hell No. Did we ever give that a chance when they first come together? I was like, why would you put Daniel Bryan with Kane, of all people? That
But it
worked out
worked
pretty
out.
well. Team Hell
It
No
worked
is
out
probably
well.
one of the best tag teams they've had in the last 10 years.
Yeah. But this one right here is like the most annoying thing about this whole friendship or this whole angle is how excited Roman Reigns is all the time when Dean Ambrose comes out. It's like, yay, Dean's here!
Yeah.
Everyone, look, Dean's here!
Yeah, his eyes do get really, really big. That's pretty funny.
Because it's the first time he hears a pop all night.
Yeah, that's true. But that's
Shots
not his pop.
fired. Shots fired.
But that's not his pop. That's Dean's pop.
Hey, if
Standing into that ring, you
Hey.
hear it all the same. So
tell Roman that. Roman said they popped for my segment. I was in it.
But guys, I'm just gonna let you know, Dean is like he's like the weirdest guy ever. But at the same time, he's turning into Diesel 2.0.
Diesel 2.0.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
Okay, how do you make the correlation between him and Diesel? I have to hear this.
All right. So he's like pretty much his bodyguard in a way, except for he lets Dean get beat up a couple of times. You know, a few throws.
Oh,
and then
you
he
said
comes
Roman
out.
is Diesel. Roman.
Okay,
is-
Roman is Diesel. We thought that you
Yeah.
meant Dean Ambrose was Diesel.
No.
Okay,
He's
okay.
not. No. Roman's Diesel.
Ambrose, now, how do you feel about Ambrose being Austin? Because I hate it. I can't stand it.
You know what? Every soul generation, you have to have someone that you can compare to.
No, I don't
Someone
think so.
back, in my opinion, like John Cena. Everyone thinks he's like Hogan. Austin. I mean, if you try to make him exactly like Austin, it just won't work. But if you can make him similar, but with his own little flavor or style, then it can work.
Is it working for you so far?
So far, it is. It's not too obvious, but it's just a slight hint of it.
What about you, Mark? Is it working for you so far?
I like it. I mean, like Dan said, I mean, they have a different flavor about them while doing it. So I mean, I'm okay with that. And I mean, besides just the obvious, are we gonna say anyone who drives things into the stadium is now considered Austin? I don't really know, because I mean, we've had a lot of people drive a lot of different things into stadiums before. But I mean, I can see how everyone's taking that kind of step towards it. But I don't think that they're exactly like enough for me to consider it just being a ripoff.
I think it's the fact that he just pops up and you know that he's gonna cause chaos. That's the whole thing that compares him to Austin.
Well, I mean, he's been playing that role since he was down in FCW, though.
Well, yeah, just a little bit.
I mean, he just comes in, raises hell, raises havoc, and then he disappears because he's a lunatic and he's about to go drink some beer. Obviously, because they're making that reference now.
Oh my gosh, can they please drop it? It's like, now that part has become too obvious.
No, that's part of the turn right there. So when Roman said, "Did you buy the beer?" and he was like, I didn't get it, I forgot. And Roman was like, well, I did. Yeah, they're definitely setting it up through that. Like the whole...
But here's the thing that difference him from, Austin from him, is that Austin has some great feuds in his time. The only feud that Dean has since he came up or whatever, or broke away from the Shield, was against him and Rollins. So, unless they make him...
Wait a minute.
Are you just going to forget an entire month's worth of street fights and ambulance matches?
Against who?
Bray Wyatt,
sir.
Oh, man, I forgot about him, but that doesn't count because he's not worth mentioning.
I'm sure you did, because Bray won the feud.
But that feud was stupid, though.
Oh, my God.
The Elm Street fight.
Oh, the Miracle on 34th Street match was golden.
Okay.
The ambulance match was decent. The TLC
match. Are we going to remember that feud, though, compared to Seth Rollins?
We still remember it. And yes, because that feud had a finish in every match. Name one that Rollins and Ambrose had a finish in.
They never had... That's the thing about it. They had their feud last year that never really, I felt like, didn't finish. That should have continued on for much longer than what it did. And now it's continuing longer now, I guess. I guess it's a continuation.
And it still has no finish. And it still has no finish.
But overall, though, how can you compare? Can you compare those feud, or even him and Bray Wyatt's feud, to any one of Austin's feud in his past, in his day?
I mean, maybe in 15 years when I look back, that's a lot of thing about it too. Listen to what people do in the Attitude Era as well. They think the Attitude Era was like the golden era of wrestling, and it was because we had two companies battling. But it wasn't because the product itself was better than the product today, because it wasn't. Austin's ring work is not as good as people think it is. Like, he's a good technician, but his matches were not that great. Like, they were okay, but it was nothing out of the ordinary.
He sold a match.
I think that's nostalgia speaking, brother.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have to agree with Anthony. I'd have Seth Rollins over over Stone Cold as far as wrestling ability.
I mean, the ability, I can see where you guys are coming from. Of course, I think a lot of the guys now are way better than the guys back then, though. But I don't see that storytelling in the ring like how Stone Cold used to tell it. When he faces, let's say, either an Undertaker or if he feuds against The Rock or whatever.
You can't really blame that on the performer today, though, because the thing Stone Cold didn't have working for him was dirt sheets. He didn't have dirt sheets, and he didn't have spoilers coming out weeks before the match. Like, when you watch Raw, you didn't know what was going to happen. So we don't have that feeling when we watch Raw anymore because we know what's going to happen.
And I feel that the story inside the ring only, nothing creative about it, just the storytelling inside the ring. I think Dean and Seth tell a pretty good story.
They really do. Their matches are good.
Like,
they do.
From everything that they've given us so far, they tell pretty good stories in ring. as far as
And whether-
storylines go,
And whether we hate the Dusty finish, it's still telling a story. The Dusty finish is part of the story. Like that's the guy being dirty and saying, "All right, man, you've almost got me, so I gotta get out before you actually finish me off."
I think it would be better for Dean if he were to win the championship, and then that way it creates more feuds and probably something classic.
I don't think they ever intended on Dean to be the heavyweight champion. Like, even
Well,
if
probably not right now though. But if you're gonna try to make him like Austin, I mean, come on, let's think about it.
they're not.
Austin was super over. He was huge.
Dean's never gonna be on that level. Like, he's just not.
Yeah, he's not on that level. I don't even know why they're trying to make him like that, but they have their sort of different flavors and style or whatever. But to me, if someone says, "Hey, let's make this guy Dean Ambrose the next Stone Cold Steve Austin," basically you're saying that you want him to take the spot of John Cena, maybe being that face of your company.
Right.
That's the part right there I can't see happening.
That's why they want Roman to be that guy. Maybe they think Ambrose is going to be the transitional guy to get Roman there. And I could see that. I could see Ambrose being the guy that Roman took it off of, and that would be even better. That's fine with me. I'd be okay with that.
So you think they could probably try to make Roman Reigns, which he's like years away from his quote-unquote cousin?
If Ambrose got the belt, Roman has to eventually get jealous. I mean, he has to. Jealousy has to kick in. That's the only way to tell the story. You can't tell it any other way.
yeah, I think eventually they're going to give Ambrose a little reign and just kind of judge and see how the ratings and see how the crowd reacts and see everything like that. But I'm with Anthony. Eventually, at some point in time, Roman Reigns is going to be like, "Well, I tried to beat the Authority and get the title away from Seth, and I didn't get the job done, but I did help you get it, so that kind of you kind of owe me now. So I want my belt back since I helped you earn it."
Yeah.
And I can see him doing that all with a big old smile on his face too.
Yep. Oh yeah, he'll be the cheesy heel. The cheesy heel is what works, especially for his gimmick.
Yeah.
Like, he should do it with a big smile and then act like he's doing it all for the good, and then just do the most dirty underhand shit you can think of when the match starts. That'd be genius. They need to let me book Roman Reigns, because I can do it so much better than they do. Because I don't know about y'all, man. I know he's got a lot of haters, but you can just look at Roman and you can see the dollar signs all over him. Like, there's money to be made with Roman Reigns. There's a reason why they picked him as the future, because he definitely has everything it takes.
Well, that's Vince McMahon's guy, I guess you can say.
But you don't think that he has, like, every ability that it takes to be that guy?
I'm not going to knock the guy down, but he just doesn't register well with me.
You gotta keep in mind also that he's like 26, 27.
Yeah, there's room for him to grow though, but let's just hypothetically say he did win at WrestleMania. How would his character or his direction of being a champion now go?
Well, I'm glad he didn't win, because that would have been career suicide, because they didn't want him to win that. But at the same time, there's gonna be a time where he's gonna get the belt. It's gonna come to him.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just hope that he doesn't conveniently wins Royal Rumble, or
no, I don't think that they're not going to replay that. That's not going to happen.
Or let's say he does oh man, no one wants me to be champion. Everyone screwed me over. I should be champion. They say, hey, how about we give him some sympathy and make it a triple threat match at WrestleMania? Do the Daniel Bryan way.
Well, you're forgetting that they have a pay-per-view in between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, so you can always have it there and remember that way.
I mean, you could have him take it all over from Dean at Hell in a Cell.
But I definitely do think that they should do a Shield match at WrestleMania for sure.
I don't think the belt's going to change hand until, if it doesn't change hand, I say.
I got it all the way to Mania. I know I'm alone in that, but I don't think Seth is losing it all the way to Mania.
It's so difficult what you can do between now and then at Mania 32. because Brock is coming back. Brock is not going to take a back seat.
But Brock doesn't need to beat Seth on the first try. Like, he needs... Brock is the chaser now. The chaser never wins the prize on the first shot. He's got to be knocked down. He's got to get back up and climb again. He's got to be up. He's got to have his fingertips on it. And then get pulled away again. He's got to go chasing again. That's what the chaser does, man.
So you think he's going to probably interfere at Money in the Bank?
I don't think he's going to interfere at Money in the Bank, but I think the very next night on Raw, you're getting Brock Lesnar, and he's going to let Seth Rollins know that it's time to man the F up.
Yeah, we got to see Brock and Seth.
That's the first person he's going for. Make no mistake. When Brock comes back, heel Brock is over. Like, you're about to get face Brock Lesnar for a long time.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready for it. I want to see face Lesnar.
If he wins at SummerSlam, or at least around SummerSlam, and he can carry the belt up until maybe Royal Rumble, I'll be okay with that too.
Mark, any final thoughts?
Yeah, because Brock's first pay-per-view back is going to be Battlegrounds. So that could be when he loses to Seth the heelish fashion way. And SummerSlam, is their second big one. So obviously we're probably going to get some kind of no DQ match that Heyman's going to hustle his way into.
So you think that there is going to be a title change?
I think at SummerSlam, Brock gets the title back for a little while.
Okay. See, I can't see Brock losing the title again that quickly.
Well, see, I don't think Brock's going to lose it that quickly afterwards. I think that's when we're going to get the split up between Seth and the Authority, and we get Kevin Owens joining up with the Authority, since Seth couldn't get the job done.
So you're going to run
Kevin Owens is our guy.
So you're going to run Brock as the champion all the way to Mania?
No, I run it to Hell in a Cell, and Kevin Owens probably...
Wow, so you got Owens being the champion going into Mania?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then that's when we're going to have the Money in the Bank Roman Reigns.
So you got Roman cashing in at Mania?
No, not at Mania. Around that time, now.
Oh, okay.
I think he's going to cash in on Kevin.
I definitely think he's going to cash in on whoever. I got Brock still. I think he's
You think
okay, so who's going to win the Royal Rumble?
Huh?
Who's going to probably win the Royal Rumble?
Probably.
Royal Rumble, you know what, man? I know you don't want to hear this, but that'll be around the time Daniel Bryan's coming back.
Oh my God. So now I'm like a little hyped up now. All right. So 1 year, this guy he doesn't participate in the Royal Rumble. People get pissed off.
Yep.
He goes into goes to WrestleMania.
Yep.
Next year he comes in, participates, gets knocked out. People doesn't like that at all.
Yeah.
So now they put him. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So now they put him in the Royal Rumble next year, and he wins it. And now everyone's supposed to be happy all over again because he's going to the main event at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. He had his chances. I mean, it sucks that. No.
Kevin Owens versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. You wouldn't buy that?
Wait, rewind. Time out. You say he had his moment. How many main events at WrestleMania did Stone Cold have?
Okay, I'm not saying necessarily for WrestleMania, but he's had his opportunity to win the Royal Rumble. I feel like if
How
he's
many
going to main
Royal Rumbles
event,
was Austin in?
but he's not Austin.
No, he is. He's on that level of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No, we can't have Daniel Bryan. I mean, you know what? I'm not a Daniel Bryan hater. I like Daniel Bryan. I just think a lot of people make him a bit better than what he is, or...
By a lot of people, you mean the entire WWE Universe, right?
Yeah, I think he's a little... I don't want to say that word, but I have to. A little overrated, but not too overrated.
I wouldn't understand how you would say that, because if everybody in the audience reacts to everything you do, you're pretty over.
They just like saying yes.
No, they say no too, and they go along with all the kicks to the chest, and
they can say it to anybody on that roster. It doesn't have to be Daniel Bryan.
They react to every move Daniel Bryan does. They have a sound for it. Every single move.
It's just like the wet. When Austin came up with that whole wet thing or whatever, they was doing it when he wasn't there or whatever. They just enjoy doing it.
Daniel Bryan did a segment with Ryback and got the big guy over with the crowd just by giving him the nod.
Because they didn't want him there. They were booing Ryback until Daniel Bryan handed him that belt. And then they turned. They were like, okay, well, Daniel endorsed him, then we're okay.
All right, if Daniel Bryan wins at Royal Rumble next year, he has to lose at WrestleMania.
To Kevin Owens.
Yeah, he will. He will lose.
I don't like Kevin. This is. Oh my god.
Look, man, I don't know. Here's the thing. You're going to feel like. And I know, Dan, this is what he can do. Whenever he becomes a Kevin Owens fan, he can act like he always has been. He can go, well, he is my guy, you know. He's a good wrestler. You're off, buddy. We're shutting the door. You're not getting on the Kevin Owens bandwagon. Get off. There's no more.
I'm not saying I hate Kevin Owens. I just think that's too soon for him to be like in that spot right now.
Right, now you don't realize, like.
Okay, so whenever the Authority endorsed Seth Rollins, how quickly did he get the title from that moment?
Yeah, at least it was a year.
No. It's been a year since he split up from the Shield today. Or, well, this week.
Yeah, how long did it take him to get the title from the time that
But
Triple H
how long has the Seth Rollins debut? When was his first debut in the WWE?
Yeah, that
Well,
was
yeah, that was with the Shield.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I'm saying once the Authority got behind him, he went straight up to the top.
But here's the thing, you're talking about Kevin Owens like he's a guy that just started training in the barnyard like 7 months ago, and that's not who Kevin Owens is.
They've already mentioned his 15-year career. They're doing a whole lot more of bringing back indie past, talking about Samoa Joe and everyone else. They're bringing a whole lot of their careers from the indies back up with them.
And like John Cena was Vince's guy, Kevin is Triple H's guy. And we're
well, I would hate for that to happen, and so Vince would have to somewhat like still be alive for that not to happen. And plus, here's the thing too. When was the last time? I'm not sure. I'm just throwing this out there because who knows if it makes sense or not. But when was the last time under Vince that a guy that was quote unquote big or fat or whatever was the face of the company or was champion like that?
They're breaking new barriers.
Not the world champion, but the WWE champion.
They're breaking new barriers.
That's what matters.
They're breaking new barriers. You ain't got to go by what the standard was before. But if you were gonna do that, Daniel Bryan would have never been champion. Rey Mysterio would have never been champion. Chris Benoit would have never been champion. Shawn Michaels would have never been champion.
But the pattern is that, for me, I think this is just my theory, is that Vince McMahon still calling the shots, and until anything happens, I don't think a person like Kevin Owens
and you don't think Vince is a fan of Kevin Owens?
I think he's a fan, but I don't think he's a big fan like Hunter is.
Vince vitalizes everything, and that man just beat John Cena in his first match. Vince likes him a lot.
He won cleanly.
So you think Vince is okay? It's going to be okay with, all right, we put the belt on Kevin Owens, and he's going to ride this out, and he's going to make us a lot of money.
It's going to be a slow burn, but I promise you, when Kevin Owens takes the top spot, he's going to be there for a long time as the top heel.
And I mean, can you imagine him versus Daniel Bryan? Him versus Dean Ambrose?
I don't have to imagine it because I've seen them already.
Well, I mean, we're going to see him on WWE TV.
Yeah, I've seen the matches. I know they're going to be good matches. So, he'll work damn good matches with Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. He'll work them all. You know, doing great with it. Final thoughts, Dan. We ran a long time tonight, but we really covered a lot of info, and this was a great podcast. Final thoughts before we lean into next week's Raw?
My final thought would be, can we please tell John Cena to not call his spots anymore?
Wow, yeah.
Or fire the audio technician or something. And,
it didn't take away from the enjoyment of the match, though, right? I mean, you still thought it was match of the night, so it didn't take away from it completely.
Oh, yeah, definitely, though. But at the same time, it was, like, a little annoying.
It
was like, come on, dude. This guy is, I mean, I know you probably think he's a rookie, but he's
Yeah.
not a rookie.
But that is John Cena. He's always called the matches loud. I mean, I've always been able to hear John call matches.
Yeah, John is very vocal. But I agree with Dan too at the same time. Kevin knows what he's doing. He's fine. Dan, what would you grade the show?
I agree Raw. I will grade Raw a C.
Wow, that is low.
Yeah, I can't grade it any higher than what I would give the pay-per-view the night before, which would be a B minus. So yeah.
Alright, well, I'm gonna give it a B minus because I thought it was a little better than that. I like the whole Dean at the end thing. I was fine with that. I'm really tired of the authority opening segments. I just wish they found a new way to do that. Other than that, though, I had a pretty good time when watching Raw this week. It was alright. Mark?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with you. I give it a B minus. Some spots, like, I just don't understand the booking, but other than that, I mean, most of the matches were at least decent. We didn't have too many of a botch fest, so that's always good. The promos pretty much delivered as usual. Normally, most of the promos are pretty decent, and even though the authority ran its course as far as always giving promos, I like Seth's back and forth with them. Seth makes it at least entertaining, so I give it a B minus.
Wow. Well, as always, folks, you can follow us on Twitter at Goons Radio. We're on Facebook at the Wrestling Goons Radio, and at YouTube at youtube.com/Wrestling Goons Radio. We'll be with you for this coming up weekend, probably Friday or Saturday. We'll get another show out, going over all the news and the hats this week in Ring of Honor, NXT, TNA. We got a lot to cover. Until then, for Dan, for Mark, and for myself, Anthony, we'll see you on the flip side.